Think by the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Way rock the baby to sleep.
Until morning. Ewing.
Oh, wow.
Oh. He's going to try to get one more shot off the air. Push the buzzer.
How about that?
That steps over to Ron Lowe. He thought about three. He'll put up a three.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Boom Broadcasting presents 3 from Deep. I'm your host, Jason Calenzo. Welcome to the show. Here we go, folks. The greatest words uttered in sports. Game 7. Hard to believe we actually got here. All the prognosticators before this series started didn't even think it was going to make it this far. Never gave Indiana a chance. Here we are. Game 7. But before we get to that here, if this is your first time on 3 from Deep, welcome. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm Jason Calenzo. This is the Boom Broadcasting Network. If you have not done so yet, hit like and subscribe. Check us out. We have a lot more shows than just here from 3 from Deep. We got my man Podcast Smitty dropping knowledge on quick hits. You got to check out Chris DeLuca, man. The MLB season is heating up right now, and he drops knowledge every week on his show. So you got to check out the Dugout Debrief with Chris DeLuca, man. He is hot. Then you got my wrestling shows, Mouthing Off with Mike. You got my man Sean Lucas dropping knowledge with It Stinks and his TV shows and streaming shows. You got to check that out. So lots of, and more to come. We got Hoops and Helmets with my man Carson and my man Aaron are going to be starting soon. The president, Mr. Michael Davis, is going to be back here pretty soon here with Out of Pocket. He just dropped Dad and the Boys with my man Mac talking about those Dallas Cowboys here. So guys, please check out Boom Broadcasting. Lots going on. Share it with your friends, your family. You will not be sorry. I guarantee that. But man, this NBA season has not been short of drama, excitement, and just when you think you know, you don't know shit. Because, man, I was completely wrong. I was on here the other day. Well, my man Cody Johnson from the Drew Code Sports Talk Show, we could have sworn that this was over. We gave Indiana a little bit of a puncher's chance to get here to Game 7. And I tell you what, they did a little more than punching. They really knocked OKC out in that Game 6. But you know what? We're going to cool out for a second before we get into that game. Let's take a little flashback. I don't have any flashback music, so just imagine violins and little wind chimes and a triangle tingling as we flash back. How did we get here to this moment in the NBA Finals? Let's start off in the East. Round 1. We had those 64-win Cleveland Cavaliers. Phenomenal season. Started off against the Miami Heat, the 8th seed, fighting their way into the playoffs without Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, and those boys. Coach Spo. What do? They make it, but run into that Cleveland Cavaliers team, and they lose 4-0. Great job making it, but ended up getting swept. Then we had the 4th seed Pacers going against the Milwaukee Bucks, and this is where the magic starts to happen. Those Indiana Pacers with some clutch shots from Mr. Halliburton, starting his historic run and starting to kind of work on that legendary status. And those Pacers start outpacing the Bucks and beat Giannis and the Bucks 4-1, starting and igniting the Giannis out of Milwaukee rumors. Then my New York Knicks. They have an old school battle against those Detroit Pistons. What a heck of a series. Tough, gritty, hard basketball. I loved it. Pistons, phenomenal season, coming back from worst in the league to making the playoffs and having a great run, but lost to the Knicks 4-2. Then we had the defending champion, Boston Celtics, in that first round, taking out that young upstart Orlando Magic team, who just got a lot stronger here in the offseason. We'll talk about that later here in the offseason. But that Orlando Magic, they had some fight in them, but lost that series 4-1. You know, the defending champions, proving why they are defending champions. So we jump into now the Eastern Conference semifinals. Again, that Cavs team battling injuries was a shame. 64 wins in the regular season. First in the East, wire to wire. Multiple 15-game winning streaks in the season. No other team has done that in the NBA. They battled those injuries, but lost to the Indiana Pacers, who were just on fire. They came in on fire and continued to be hot and paced the Cleveland Cavaliers out of the playoffs 4-1. Was not a good looking series for those Cleveland Cavaliers, and it's a shame for such a good season to end it the way it did. But man, here we go. Indiana building that momentum. And then we get to my New York Knicks. What a run they had, taking out the Celtics in 2 games at the Garden. Boston Garden, that is. Big wins for them. Taking out Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, the defending champions, putting them on the brink. And then, unfortunately, Jason Tatum, here's the pop, blows out his Achilles. And we won't see him for a year plus, unfortunately. But the New York Knicks take the series 4-2 in a big win for New York. Then that leads us to the Eastern Conference Finals, which the Knicks had not been there in 25 years. But the Pacers, with a huge Game 1 win and the bounce of a ball, where if it doesn't go in, I think that series goes a different route. But Tyrese Halliburton breaking hearts this whole playoff season breaks my heart, breaks New York Knicks fans' heart, and continues this run, this fast-paced run that the Indiana Pacers have been on, and win the series 4-2 to get to the NBA Finals. And shout out to the Indiana Pacers. What a heck of a run they have had. Anybody and everybody that has counted them out, all they have done is win. They don't listen to anybody else. They do what they got to do. They handled their business, and now they are in the NBA Finals. And then let's go to the West Side, the best side. At that first round, Oklahoma City Thunder, 68-win team. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, the NBA's MVP. They start their run, making quick work of the 8th seed Memphis Grizzlies, prompting them to make some offseason changes. Then we had the Nuggets and Joker battling the beard and the claw. We had our comic book battle. Denver wins that series 4-3. The heck of a matchup. Very impressed on how the Clippers showed up. But Joker and Jamal Murray were just too much. Then we got those 6 seed Wolves who just kind of slid in to the playoffs pretty quietly, I might add. and they just ate Luka and LeBron for lunch. They outplayed and showed the discrepancies that the Lakers have on that team and blew through them, winning that series 4-1. It wasn't pretty for the Lakers. And we're going to talk about the Lakers here in a little bit. Then my Rockets. Phenomenal young team. A great, great season. Was very impressed by how Ime Udoka had that Rockets team running. 52-30 on the season. Very impressed by the Rockets. Second seed in the West. But flamed out in that first round and got beat by Curry and the Warriors, along with playoff Jimmy Butler, 4-3. It's a 7-game series, tough fought series, but Rockets still young, still learning. They'll be back. But then we had that Western Conference semis. Thunder, behind their newly crowned MVP, was too much for the former MVP and take them out in 7 games. And then you had the Timberwolves knock out Jimmy Buckets. Steph Curry gets hurt. Gold State had no chance. Timberwolves win 4-1. So now that brings us to the Western Conference Finals. Oklahoma City Thunder, Minnesota Timberwolves. The Thunder clap the Timberwolves. Ant Edwards shrinks in the playoffs. Says I'll be back. Sometimes there's no guarantee in coming back. Thunder win the series 4-1. Which leads us again to these NBA Finals, where now you have Oklahoma City, 68-win team, number 1 wire to wire, best team in the league, now in the NBA Finals, versus an Indiana Pacers team who have knocked out some big teams and have been rolling their pace of play, their last-second heroics, their comeback games have shocked the NBA world. Everybody counting against them, everybody betting against them. You got hip-hop moguls losing millions of dollars betting against Indiana, but Indiana doesn't care. They don't listen to any of that. Game finals. Now we're in the finals. Game 1 in the finals. Pacers come out swinging. Pace of play way too much for the Thunder. They end up winning 111-110. Leading the series 1-0. Game 2, Thunderstorm back with a win. 123-107. Even up the series. Game 3, Pacers are not playing around. They came here to play basketball. They don't care their rankings. They don't care who's counting against them. They win 116-107. Take the 2-1 lead. Game 4, Thunder bounce back. Even it up. 2-2. They do what they need to do. SGA handling his business. Most 30-point games in an NBA playoffs with 12. Then, Game 5. Thunder again, back-to-back wins. Finally, for the first time in these finals, take the 3-2 lead, 120-109. Pacers, backs against the wall, come back home, which leads us to Thursday night's Game 6. I thought it was done. I was not counting on Indiana. Tyrese Halliburton has his Willis Reed moment, limping out onto the court with his strained calf, getting all the work done, getting all the injections, getting ready for the game, comes out there and sparks his team to a victory. And not just a victory, but an ass kicking. Oklahoma City was trounced 108-91, and it wasn't even that close. This game was over by halftime. Pacers came to play. They had that arena rocking. Pascal Siakam for the game. I can't do the eyes, the roll of the eyes. You guys have been seeing the pictures on in the social media and stuff. Pascal Siakam channeling his inner demon. I can't roll my eyes in the back of my head like he did. But they came to play, man. Oklahoma City, very disappointed in that performance. Jalen Williams, 16 points. Chet Holmgren, only 4 points. Ichabod. Oh, Ichabod Crane, where you at? 4 points? You got the TV commercial now. You're supposed to be part of the boys. That was a weak performance. Folded. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, MVP. Trying to become the finals MVP. 21 points. And not a lot of help from that bench. Weak performance. 26.7% from three. That's not going to get it done. And what's worse, 21 turnovers, 14 assists, and 4 steals. That is not going to get it done. 21 turnovers. They gave Indiana that game. They gave them the momentum. They just folded. And to me, that's bad. You're supposed to be the juggernaut. You have the NBA's MVP on your team. You were the prohibitive favorite to win the whole thing. This was not even supposed to get to 7 games. And you folded like a cheap suit. Now it's got to go back to Oklahoma City. And you gave these Pacers, who again, shout out to Indiana Pacers, who everybody has counted out and against and bet against. They have just come in and won. They get hit, knocked down, they get back up and come back and beat you. It has been very impressive. Their style of play, their defense, opportunistic. Their coach, Rick Carlisle, I give him a ton of credit for having this team prepared in these playoffs. I don't think he gets touted enough as a great NBA coach, but he needs to be up there right now because he has done a phenomenal job with these Indiana Pacers during these playoffs. Cannot say that enough. But man, Pascal Siakam, 16 points, 13 rebounds. That dunk on Jalen Williams, where literally, I think Williams had an out-of-body experience. That dunk on him was so hard. That may vault them to the NBA championship because now, again, they have momentum going into Oklahoma City. And they have won in Oklahoma, too. Told you, Oklahoma City. I told you, Thunder. Do not give these guys life. Do not give them a chance. They have been getting the bounce. They have been getting the clutch shots. You're in trouble now. Tyrese Halliburton, 14 points in 23 minutes. Again, the Willis Reed moment. All the build-up to the injury. The terrible Game 5. Is he going to play? Did the MRI? What does the MRI say? And he comes out, gives you 14 points. But just him being there on the court and his excitement, and then, again, that assist to Pascal for the dunk, that was it. It was over. Obi Toppin, shout out. That Indiana Pacers bench has been That's the MVP of the NBA playoffs right now is that Indiana Pacers bench. Obi Toppin, 20 points. TJ McConnell, 12 points. TJ McConnell, most NBA's finals games with 10 plus points, 5 plus assists off the bench. He's had 3 of them. He is a guy that comes off the bench, and you talk about sparking life into a crowd, into a team. When he comes off the bench, his steals, he gets rebounds. He had more rebounds than Chet Holmgren. And Chet's twice as tall as he is. "23 assists from the Indiana Pacers, unselfish basketball, 16 steals, and only 10 turnovers. Huge difference from the 21 that Oklahoma City had. But 16 steals. That's good defense. That's also sloppy basketball, Oklahoma City. Sloppy basketball. A shame. So here we are. We've had a hell of a playoffs, guys. This has been full of ups and downs, drama, injuries. Teams we thought were supposed to win did not win. Teams we thought were going to just run away with it, struggling. So here we are, Game 7 of the NBA Finals. First time since 2016, the Cleveland Cavaliers beating the Golden State Warriors. So this all comes down to Sunday night, 8 p.m. Which team is going to show up? And this is what's been crazy about these playoffs is, to try to call games. Because I've been wrong on a lot of these. I know a lot of guys have been wrong on a lot of these. Just when you think you don't know shit. Straight up. I thought this was done. I thought Oklahoma City had the momentum. Halliburton hurt. Even going into Indiana, I thought, man, Shea wants that MVP. Club Shea. Nope. The Indiana Pacers don't care how many games you won in the regular season. They don't care who you have on that side of on the court. MVP, whatever. Don't care. They just come in and play their game of basketball. And man, it is fun to watch. They don't have the prohibitive MVP superstar. They want to, these questions about Halliburton. Look, Halliburton's a really good player, but he is not a superstar. But he's a damn good player, and his team rallies around him. Pascal Siakam. He's won a championship with Toronto. He gives you what you need every night. And then you have role players and bench players that play basketball and play it well and do what they need to do. There's no selfishness. There's no ball hogging. They just come and play. And it has been fun to watch. Hurts as a Knicks fan. It does hurt, man. I'm still bitter. I still see that ball bounce that Halliburton threw and come down. If that does not go in the rim, in the hoop, this is a whole different finals. But, guys, I want to know who you got. I'd like to hear something, what you got. Because, man, just when I think I know, I don't know. I don't know which team's going to show up. Is the real Oklahoma City Thunder going to show up? Is the 20-point, 30-plus point, 20-point Chet Holmgren going to show up? Is the 40-point Jalen Williams going to show up? Is the 30-plus point Shea Gilders-Alexander going to show up? Or are the Thunder that got beat by 40 by the Denver Nuggets going to show up? Or just got their butt chewed by the Indiana Pacers in Game 6, down by as much as 35? Is that team going to show up? Man, I don't know. Because I tell you what, if Oklahoma City goes out there and lays an egg in Game 7 and the Indiana Pacers walk away with this championship, this is going to be a long, long offseason for Shea Gilders-Alexander and that team. This is going to hurt because they were given the championship. They have had this championship in their hands, and they have done everything to give it away. Indiana, which team is going to show up? That team from Game 6? The team from Game 2? Is Halliburton going to limp out there and give you that moment again? Is that defense going to lock down that Thunder team? I'm still calling Thunder. I still think Thunder at home. It's a tough place to play. I think being embarrassed in Game 6, I think that sparks them a little bit more. I have a feeling they're getting called out a lot. You know, they do one of those closed door players only meeting. Yeah, we'll see. But I got Thunder eking this one out. But man, I tell you what, this has been an exciting finals. And Indiana, props. Because I was wrong. A lot of people did not give you guys even a fighting chance. And you have proved everybody wrong. So win or lose, you guys are winners in my book. So Game 7, 8 p.m. Sunday. We'll see what happens. All right, guys. That's a lot to unpack, man. It has been a crazy NBA season. One game left. Here we go. This is for all the marbles. I'm excited, and I cannot wait to see this game because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who's going to show up. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. So, all right, guys, let's get in the layup line a little bit. We got some other stories to talk about here real quick because, of course, finals dominating everything. But first things first, let's talk about $10 billion. Los Angeles Lakers have now become the most valuable franchise ever sold in the United States, surpassing the $6.1 billion the Boston Celtics were just sold for in March. Boston, $6.1 million. Lakers said, We're East Coast, you guys stay over there. We got more championships. Not by much. I think it's one. But we just got sold for $10 billion. So we're up on you now. So Lakers, you need to send Boston like a fruit basket. Maybe some Luka t-shirts or something. You got to send them something because they were 6.1 billion. They were on top of the world, most valuable franchise, and then you outshined them for $10 billion. So you got to send them something, man. I mean, come on. Without Boston and LA in the 80s, you guys fighting and starting this rivalry, the NBA would not be what it is today. So do something nice for them. But Mark Walter, the CEO of TWG Global, the owner of the Dodgers, and you see what he's done with the Dodgers, and you see the checkbook he is not afraid to open. So this is going to be an interesting ride for the Los Angeles Lakers because this is a guy that wants to win. He wants to win now, and he's not afraid to shell it out to do it. Now, I know the NBA, the pay structure, salaries, salary cap. A lot of things are different than MLB. You can't do this Otani defer money. We'll pay you in 21-20 and all this other stuff that they got going on. When you're dead, we'll still be paying off your salary, so your kids will get a check. But this is going to be huge for the Los Angeles Lakers this offseason. Once that ownership group kind of takes control, watch out, because there's going to be a lot going on in LA, and he is not going to be shy about wanting to get players. He's not going to be shy about wanting to do things with the team, for the team. That checkbook is going to come open, and be prepared. So it's going to be interesting to see how he jumps in and what changes and what he does to that Los Angeles Lakers franchise. Because look, 1979, Jerry Buss buys the Lakers for $67.5 million. And look, in 1979, $67.5 million, that's a lot of money back then. A lot of money. A heck of an investment. But what does he do? Drafts Magic Johnson, go out, get Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Worthy. They put together the Showtime Lakers, and then an explosion happens. The NBA comes to life. Guys, you got to remember the 70s, late 60s, early, 70s were a very, very dark time for the NBA. ABA was separate, so you had a lot of teams that were on its own league. Tape delays. You couldn't see games. The only time you even really heard about games is maybe in the newspaper. Very dark, dark times. Then Mr. Buss comes along. Showtime. Starts this rivalry with Larry Bird and the Boston Celtics. Takes it East Coast to West Coast, and America is enthralled. Next thing you know, the NBA flourishes in the 80s. And a lot of that has to do with the Los Angeles Lakers and Jerry Buss and that Buss family. $67.5 million. And your investment, you turn around and sell it for $10 billion. Jeannie Buss, she's going to be like Scrooge McDuck. She's going to be swimming around in money. The rich get richer. Man, but NBA today would not be what it is without Jerry Buss and what he did with the Los Angeles Lakers. So shout out, rest in peace, Mr. Buss. Thank you for what you've done and what you did to that Lakers organization, because you lit a fire that is now engulfing the world, because the NBA and basketball is a global sport now. And it started in 1979. It really did. Those guys lit the flame. Michael Jordan took it nuclear. So, guys, if you don't know your NBA history, go back and look it up. Because the NBA, shoe contracts, nil deals, all this other stuff would not be what it is today without guys like Jerry Buss, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan. These guys, you owe them a check, because they paved the way. So it's crazy. And then also in the layup line, let's get with the deal's not announced yet, but the Houston Rockets are extending Ime Udoka after his fantastic season, 52-30, making the playoffs first time since the 1920 season, 2019-2020 season. He's getting an extension. I don't know. I'm gonna take credit. The New York Knicks kind of fishing for him and trying to hook him in. All these phone calls they made. I think every coach that gets a extension because of that, they need to kind of again get them fruit baskets fired up and send one to the Knicks. You freaked the Rockets out a little bit, so they knew they had a great coach. They just extended him. Look, he made it to the finals with the Boston Celtics in 2022. He'd probably still be with the Celtics if it wasn't for his issues that he had there with a female employee with the Celtics. But you talk about a bounce back from something like that. Man, a hell of a season. And those Rockets in line to maybe land Kevin Durant, second in the West last year. Green only getting better. Alfred Sengun. They have a phenomenal team there in Houston. So to lock up Ime Udoka, well, I'll be curious to see how much and how long. We haven't heard anything yet. They just haven't really announced it yet until the new league year turns over. So it'll be interesting to see how that happens. But congrats, Ime. I would have loved to see you in New York, but that Houston Rockets team is going to be a force. They are a great team to watch, and I think I could see them being the number one seed in the West next year, especially if they land Kevin Durant. It's a lock. Number one seed next year, guaranteed. So, guys, here we are. One more game. I feel like Doctor Strange in the last Marvel one. Sunday, 8 p.m. We'll see what happens. Thank you guys very much for joining me. I'm taking a little hiatus next week. I'll be back the following week. I'm hoping where I'm at, I still should be able to drop a show for you on Monday. Fingers crossed if everything works out. But thank you guys very much for joining me today. Thank you guys very much for joining me all season. Big shout out to Boom Broadcasting. Big shout out to my man, Michael Davis, for giving me this opportunity to come here and talk to you guys and develop this show and make it even better next year and have a lot of fun with it. Do a full season next year. Big shout out to my man, Cody Johnson from Drew Code Sports Talk, who has helped me out immensely. He helped me out, hooked me up with my intro video, which I think that intro video just hypes me up and makes me feel phenomenal. Even if I'm having a bad day at work, I come here, I sit down, I talk NBA with you guys. I hit that record button and see that video, and I just get super pumped up. So great job there, Mr. Johnson, for doing that for me. But again, all you guys that have watched, everybody that's watched the show or sent me something or told me something, thank you guys very much. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I will see you soon. Let me know who you got. Game 7, guys. Here we go. Check you later. Peace.